Gunsmoke, brought to you by the Pelican Players Community Theater. The cast and crew are made up of local residents and will be announced at the end of the show. Around Dodge City and in the territory out west, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke, starring Dan Tackitt, the story of the violence that moved west with young America, and the story of a man who moved with it.
I'm that man, Matt Dillon, United States Marshal. The first man they look for and the last they want to meet. It's a chancy job, and it makes a man watchful and a little lonely.
It's a good thing we packed in all that stove wood, Mr. Dillon. Gonna need plenty of it before morning.
Yeah, it's gonna be a real cold night, looks like.
Snow keeps on out there. It's gonna be 2 feet deep on the level and 4 in the drawers.
If you don't take your boots off that stove, you're gonna have 2 feet on the bare ground, Chester.
What are you talking about?
Well, your soles are starting to smoke. Now take them off.
By golly, I thought I smelled something burning in here.
Stove's red hot.
Well, at least my feet's warm for the first time in 2 days. Maybe I'll rub my boots with tallow. The leather ought to soak it up real good being so hot that way.
Evening, Matt.
Oh, hello, Kitty. Come on in.
Miss Kitty.
Oh, it's pretty cold out tonight.
Well, why don't you come over here and stand by the stove and burn with Chester?
Oh, now, Mr. Dillon.
I can't stay, Matt. I've got to get back to the Long Branch.
Oh, big crowd tonight?
Yeah, but our quiet one. Men get sentimental at Christmas time.
Oh, I'm that way myself, Miss Kitty.
So am I, Chester. I was thinking earlier this evening what it was like when I was a little girl. We just always... Well, that was a long time ago.
Well, why don't you stay a little while, Kitty? Let Sam run the place tonight, huh?
The boys sort of need me, Matt. Talk with them and laugh with them, even though they're thinking of somebody else at the time.
Well, yeah, I know, but
I really don't mind. It's kind of nice to be needed by somebody. What I was thinking, though, Matt, later on, midnight, maybe the 3 of us could get back together, make some hot rum, maybe?
It's a good idea, Kitty.
Yeah, well, doggone it. Maybe I can get Mr. Jonas to rustle up some chestnuts.
And I'll be counting on that.
All right.
I'll come here if that's all right. I kind of like to get away from the Long Branch, too.
Okay.
Oh, how are you, Mr. Beeker?
Evening.
Well, I better get on back. I'll see you later.
All right, Kitty. Come on in, Jethro. You look like you could stand some warming up.
Marshal Dillon, I got some trouble out at my place.
Oh, what kind of trouble?
I've been invaded, attacked out in my property, shot at. Look here at this hat.
That bullet come much closer and you'd have been shot, not shot at. Who was it?
Couple coming through in a wagon. They took over my barn, won't let me put a foot inside.
Now, what do you mean a couple? A man and a wife?
How do I know whether they're man or wife or not?
Well, maybe they just wanted shelter from the storm.
Marshal, I don't care what they want. They took possession of my barn without so much as a buy your leave, and I want them thrown out tonight.
Oh, can't we leave it till morning, Jethro?
No, sir. Will Ross ain't spending the night on my property.
Will Ross?
Yeah.
Is your daughter with him, Harmony?
Marshal, I ain't got no daughter.
Well, you did have until 2 years ago when she married Ross and you threw them both off the place.
For the last time, I ain't got no daughter.
You had one for 19 years, Beeker.
Now, you know me for a man of my word, Marshal. I'm telling you this. You don't ride back out there with me right now and get them off my property, I'm gonna burn that barn down with them inside it.
Chester,
Yes, sir?
better saddle a couple of horses. I don't see any wagon, Jethro.
They hauled it inside the barn, blast them. And they're burning the coal oil stove in the tack room. And they got a fire going in the blacksmith forge.
Well, it's a cold night.
Yes, and charcoal and oil cost money. Come on out of there, Ross. Got the law with me now.
Jethro, if I'm going to handle this, I'll handle it my own way. Now you stay right here. Come on, Chester.
Yes, sir.
Now, don't go easy on them. I want them two treated like any other criminals.
We made pretty good targets against the snow, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah, I guess we do at that. Wind dies down, may not turn into a blizzard after all.
Yeah, but I just don't like the idea of walking right into a gun.
Who is it? Who's out there?
Matt Dillon, hold your fire, Will.
Stay back. I'm warning you, Marshal.
We just want to talk to you. Will, now come on, open the door. It's cold out here.
Old Jethro with you?
No, it's just me and Chester.
You can come in alone, Matt. Leave your gun out there with Chester.
Oh, all right. Now open up. Here, Chester, hang on to this.
Mr. Dillon, I just don't like this.
We've got no choice.
All right, hurry up, Matt.
Well, welcome home, Will.
You took a big chance walking up here like that.
I doubt that. You wouldn't have shot anybody in cold blood before. I don't think a man changes that much in 2 years.
Not unless he's pushed hard enough.
Maybe. I'll take that gun, Will.
You said you just wanted to talk.
I do, but not over a gun sight. Now hand it over.
No. Now stay away, Matt. No! No!
And like I said, Will, a man doesn't change that much.
No, I guess not. I wouldn't even have shot old Jethro.
I figured that.
We didn't aim to stop here, Marshal. We was trying to make Dodge when the storm came down on us.
Well, a man takes shelter where he can.
I wouldn't even ask him for a drink of water. Not the way he treated us when we got married. But we didn't have no choice.
Where's Harmony, Will?
She's in the tack room. Warmer there. I made up a bed for her with some straw and some blankets.
A bed?
You better go talk to her, Marshal. She'll be all right. Glad to see you after all this time.
All right. Chester,
Yes, sir.
come on in. I'll be right back.
All right. Sir, how have you been making out, Will?
Harmony?
Who is it?
Matt Dillon.
Oh, Matt.
What's going on in here, young lady?
Oh, everything, Matt. We're in trouble. Real trouble.
What's wrong? You sick?
Oh, I reckon you might call it that. It'll be any time now, I think.
Oh, well, now look, don't you worry, Harmony. I'm going to get some help out here right away. Everything's going to be all right now. I'll be right back.
Get out of my barn! Off my property, Ross! Take that woman of yours with you!
Jethro, I told you to stay outside.
I'll remind you, these are my premises, Marshal.
We'll worry about that later. Chester, go get Doc out here, fast.
Oh, what did I tell him? Is Miss Harmony took down sick?
Not exactly, no.
What?
Just get riding, Chester.
Oh, my. Yes, sir.
Matt, I'm sick.
Now, you just take it easy, Harmony. Will and Chester are going to be back any minute. They'll have Doc with them.
Oh, why don't they hurry?
Don't worry, it won't be much longer.
Oh, they just got to. Oh!
Oh, it's going to be all right, Harmony.
Why couldn't Chester have gone alone? Why did you have to send Will with him?
Well, if he'd have stayed here, Harmony, your father and him would have been at each other's throats.
Where's Pa?
He's out there keeping the fire burning, heating up some more water. He's looking sicker by the minute.
Oh, why did it have to happen here? Oh, Matt.
Oh, Harmony, take it easy.
If I only had something to hold on to. Maybe if he'd give me his hand.
Here, take my hand. There you go. There you go.
Baby's first look at the world ought to be all love and joy. Not like this. Not like Pa hating us like he does.
Oh, now, Harmony.
He does. He hates us. Will and me both.
Maybe not as much as he puts on.
Oh, Matt. Matt, you're right, I think.
What? What do you mean?
Oh, not gonna be much longer. Oh,
now, take it easy. Take it easy.
If Doc doesn't get here, you'll stay with me. You'll help me, won't you, Matt?
Well, sure I will, Harmony. I'll do what I can. But he'll get here, though. Doc always makes it.
I hope so. I'm afraid.
Brrr. Now what's all this fuss about?
Oh, Doc. Thank goodness.
A fine time of night to drag a man out in the snow. Here, put my bag there. I can't see why you didn't plan this thing at a decent hour, young lady.
Oh, Doc, I'm scared.
Oh, now fiddlesticks. Not a thing to worry about. Women were having young'uns long before you and me was even born. Well, now then, you just settle back here and you quit worrying. I'll tell you when it's time to worry.
Doc, you mind if I,
No, well, now wait a minute, Matt. You look white as a sheet.
Well, Doc.
Oh, you thought you was going to have to take over by yourself now. Now you go on out there and you tell that old buzzard to heat up some more water. He hasn't got nearly in half enough.
Oh, all right, Doc.
And then you stay out from underfoot. Me and Harmony's got some work to do. Go on now. Get. Howdy, young fella. Welcome to the world.
My gracious, if it is cold, Mr. Dillon. Stop snowing, though. Clear as a bell. There you are, Mr. Beeker. Better put some more wood on that fire because it's burning down pretty low.
So is my wood pile. It's a fool's waste trying to heat a barn in midwinter.
I'll cut enough to make it up before we leave.
Yeah.
One thing, Jethro. We ain't going out beholden to you.
Yeah, you always had a fine way to talk.
Mostly I can back it up.
You didn't with Harmony. We don't need your old man's farm, you said. We'll have one twice as big, you said.
We run into bad luck.
Oh, sure you did. You come crawling back with your tail between your legs.
Not to you, we didn't. We got caught here tonight by this accident.
Bad luck accident. That's all you was born for. Just when I told Harmony when she defied me and up and married you.
Is that so? Now you listen to me.
Settle down, both of you. Will, I didn't give you back your gun just to have you start another argument.
Sorry, Marshal. I'm just kind of on edge, I reckon.
Well, it's no wonder when a man's got a new little boy less than an hour old.
Yes, and the rich get richer, and the poor have young'uns.
Shh, Jethro, shut up.
Marshal, I'll remind you that all your trespasses are on my property.
I thought we settled this, that I'm here because you called the law.
Well, you sure ain't doing nothing.
Course of circumstances. They'll leave as soon as your daughter's able to.
You can count on that.
I ain't got no daughter, Marshal.
Well, anyway, while they're here, you're gonna keep the peace and quiet.
No law against talking.
There is if talk leads to violence. Just remember that Harmony and Will don't like putting up with you any better than you like putting up with them.
Real high and mighty, ain't they? And without a roof over their heads.
A lot of folks might figure that makes you look worse than them.
Now, what kind of talk is that, Marshal?
With a ranch this size, and a big house on it, and a man your age trying to work it all by himself while his own kin roam the countryside, well, some folks might figure a man like that's got a lot of meanness in him.
I told her what to expect if she married this feller.
Man might tell somebody most anything when he's mad. Jethro, it's just plain stubbornness that makes him stick to it afterwards.
And they come sneaking into my barn like bandits, Marshal. Didn't even knock at my door. Now you're saying I ought to go crawling to 'em?
I didn't tell you what you ought to do.
Well, it comes to that, though, and I ain't doing it.
Don't worry, Jethro. We don't want no part of your ranch.
And it ain't being offered to you. I worked mighty hard to make this place look like what it is.
A little peace and quiet out here wouldn't do the patient any harm, you know.
How is she, Doc? Is she gonna be all right?
Well, she's fine. And so's the young'un. She'll live to have a dozen more, and he'll grow up and probably come to a bad end, like being a marshal or a country doctor. Now, young lady, I'll be back in the morning. You get yourself some sleep.
All right, Doc. But would you tell my pa that...
If you're gonna tell anybody what to do, you gotta do it yourself.
Pa? Pa?
Well, answer her, you old coot. She's trying to talk to you.
Yes. What is it?
Pa, would you come in here and say howdy to your grandson?
Grandson? Did she say my grandson?
Of course, he's your grandson.
Well, I hadn't thought of that. My grandson?
Well, now, wait a minute. I don't know, Jethro. You just got through claiming you didn't have a daughter.
Confound it, Marshal. You're trying to put words in my mouth. Of course I got a daughter. And a grandson.
And as fine a boy as you can ask for.
Well,
What?
I'd be much obliged to you if we could shake hands and kind of forget about things.
Well, can't see no reason not to, Jethro.
Good. Good. Now, come on, Will. Let's look him over. By golly. Grandson.
Look at him, crazy old fool. Young'un's born every day. It's nothing to get worked up about.
Who you fooling, Doc?
Nobody. Well, what are we gonna do? Head back to town?
Might as well, Doc. No. They'll probably have some ups and downs yet, but I guess the four of them will be able to work it out.
Yeah, they'll spoil that kid rotten, that's for sure.
Well, it turned out to be a fine night after all. The snow quit, didn't it?
Yeah, sure, and look at those doggone stars.
Say, Doc, why don't you come back to the office when we get in town? Kitty will be there, and we thought we'd have a little something to drink and sit around a while and talk.
Well, that sounds fine.
Well, now, hold on, Mr. Dillon. It's pretty near 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's right, Chester.
Well, Miss Kitty won't still be waiting up.
You want to bet?
Gunsmoke, produced by the Pelican Players Community Theater, directed by Banaszak, The post-production has been done by Bob Delmeda. The sound crew was Mark Goldman. The cast was Chester was played by Ron Banaszak. Doc played by Ken Rodman. Kitty by Kathryn Shea. Beeker was played by Kevin Steinke. Ross was played by Guy Bailey. And Harmony was performed by Donna Fiore. Matt Dillon was performed by Dan Tackitt.